Welcome. Sarah and I are part of the team here at Charlotte Mason Institute, but we were Alveary members long before our current roles. So, to start with today, Sarah, tell us when you were first an Alveary member.
This year marks our family's seventh year with Alveary, and I can't express how grateful I am for all that I've learned in the past 7 years. When my oldest started high school last year, many people asked if we were still going to continue homeschooling. And not only are we still homeschooling, but I feel confident and equipped to continue her education through to graduation. She is thriving, which means I am thriving.
And, we are in our 6th year of Alveary. We joined when my oldest was in 4th grade, and now she's starting high school this year. And I think back to the very first session I ever went to talking about Charlotte Mason. And the question I asked was, what does this look like in high school? So I don't know why I was thinking that when my children were still so young, but we are finally at that point. So it's kind of exciting. Today, we're going to share some things that we have learned through the years as Alveary homeschool moms with you. And to start off, for example, I thought geography was only about locating places on the map and maybe learning where some states and countries were.
I have to confess, I thought the same thing. And when we became Alveary members and I saw Alveary's geography lessons, I realized there is so much more.
We have learned a lot about where mountain ranges affect climate and how populations around the world have relied on rivers, have grown up around those rivers. And now that we're entering the upper years, how geography impacts war and politics. And I say we because I did not have a good geography education or background. And so I truly did learn alongside my children.
I completely agree. I didn't know about those topics either. The thing that drew me to a Charlotte Mason education was the wonderful books, but I didn't realize before starting Alveary the extent that it's an education of books and things like geography models, science labs, and life skills. We had been doing some handicrafts, but the others, like geography models or geography walks, we weren't doing.
I think it's a little easy to get out of balance in that area when you're just starting out and maybe you don't know what all the possibilities are or everything you should be doing, or you just love really good books like we do and concentrate too much on the books and not add in the other things.
Exactly. I really struggled with the balance of everything. I knew reading and narrating were essential, and we were doing that, but I was missing out on incorporating notebooks, geography walks, foreign languages, and art effectively before Alveary. And here's another confession. I did not fully grasp the structure of a lesson or how to introduce new topics effectively. Alveary taught me the importance of beginning a lesson with an introduction, reviewing previous lessons, and fostering discussion after a narration. These elements really bring depth and richness to our learning that I had overlooked before.
And I was in the same boat. I had done the same thing. I think it would be helpful to talk a little bit more about that.
I think the depth of the lesson unfolds when children have the opportunity for self education. And yes, that comes through narration. It also comes through allowing them to have time to journal and discuss the connections between subjects. I misinterpreted Charlotte Mason's concept of the teacher standing aside, believing it meant not saying anything. Alveary's lesson plans, they gently guided me to embody the role of the teacher as a guide, philosopher, and friend while not getting in the way of their important work of self education.
And I really love that phrase, guide, philosopher, and friend. And Alveary embeds that role of the teacher right into the lesson plans. So we have been developing our skills as Charlotte Mason educators without years of needing to study the methods first or our children getting less than stellar lessons until we got it all figured out.
Absolutely. I started a Charlotte Mason education when I already had kids in the formal years of education and didn't have the time to read all of her volumes. The plans really were teaching me at the same time I was teaching my children. Another example of this is science. Before Alveary, I thought science in a Charlotte Mason paradigm was just nature study. Alveary's lessons have taught our family how to think like scientists, keep lab notebooks, and engage in the scientific process, as well as keep those nature notebooks and spend time outside.
My son is very science oriented and I am not. So the science lesson plans have been very supportive and even transformative for us. And they're also just so relational and they give children the space to engage in that self directed learning. One example is when we were reading the Scientist in the Field book about the bees. I think that's in year 4 or 5. And we were at a family gathering, and my son was talking to a relative who was working on her doctorate in a related field. And he was able to hold a conversation with her about what he had been learning and about what she was researching. And she was just amazed with that. And he was so thrilled to have that conversation with her. And I just was amazed that we had done that through the Alveary lesson plans and the reading and the labs and the other activities that we had done.
That is a great story, Melissa. We are all in different stages of our Charlotte Mason journey, and we're continuing to learn. In a few years, when we look back at this video, we'll probably be amazed at how far we have come from this point and our kids. What we both have loved and continue to love about Alveary is its ability to provide us with a framework, a recipe, if you will, to lay the feast of ideas for our kids. While we can customize the recipe to suit our unique family dynamics, and we do that, Alveary offers a solid foundation, and we invite you to join us.
You can jump into a relational education even if you're still trying to figure things out. That's how we all start. Thank you for joining us, and I hope we get to welcome you as an Alveary member soon. Thank you.